everybody, I'm the Amazing Atheist, and a lot of people hate my fucking guts. Oh yes they do. And do you know what my response to that is? Nothing. Usually I remain silent and let the inferiors cast their aspersions upon me, for I am a higher being, an enlightened being. My reality transcends their pitiful existence. But today, I do feel compelled to take on a particular criticism that has emerged pretty much only in one place. Tumblr, to be specific. Some of you might remember that I once did a series of videos called Banned From, and they were stories about me being banned from various restaurants. And how it all started was a few years ago, I went to McDonald's and I ordered some fries and they didn't have any ketchup. So I said to them, well, what about the ketchup you put on the sandwiches? Could you give me some of that? And they did. And that was the end of the story. But I had a little brainstorm where I thought, what if I had this huge, massive overreaction to there being no ketchup? You know, that seems so American to me, the idea of someone losing their shit because McDonald's was out of ketchup. Because you hear stories like that all the time. And I thought it would be funny to kind of tell a story from the perspective of being one of those people, where I'm all full of righteous indignation.
And I said, Viva la revolution! And I called upon the people to unite against McDonald's and fight McDonald's. And for everyone to rally around and grab their pitchforks and attack McDonald's.
And that video got so many views that I followed it up with some similar videos. Banned from Subway, banned from Denny's. I'll show you some clips so you get the idea.
And I smashed the glass display case, and I jumped over the counter, and I fucking took a bunch of pieces of bread and pushed them together into one giant piece of bread. And I grabbed that asshole that took our orders, and I stuffed him in between the two giant pieces of bread that I made, and I shoved him in the little oven and toasted him for 35 fucking minutes. Then I pulled him out, and I covered him in toppings and the broken glass from the display case, and I cut him into little slices, and I served him to everyone at Subway, and everyone was happy, and everyone was so thrilled, and they said it was the best sandwich they ever tasted, and they clapped and applauded, and they lifted me up on their shoulders, and they crowned me official king of Subway.
I said, another drink, huh? Well, how about your blood, bitch? I didn't even bite her that hard. She only needed like 20 stitches, and I totally missed her jugular vein. And of course, in typical corrupt corporate fashion, McDonald's banned me from their restaurant for 2 more weeks. It was about that time that Joe Pesci and some goons came along, dragged me out back, roughed me up, and told me that if I ever talked about Wendy's in a disparaging manner again, they were gonna cat me. But I'm pretty sure they were And it's around that time that I sort of blacked out. The next few moments, aside from the screams, I can't remember whatsoever. When I finally came to, I was holding a human heart in my hands, and my waiter's writhing body was at my feet, and he was looking up at my bloody face, and we made eye contact, and I could see that disbelief, like, I can't believe that you just ripped my heart out of my open chest cavity. Let me ask you guys a question as you watch those. Do you believe those stories happened? Because if you do, you're a fucking idiot. And guess what? There's a lot of fucking idiots on Tumblr. You see, Tumblr is full of feminists who hate me to begin with. So they'll believe anything about me. So they believe, for real, that I've really actually done these things. That I've really actually been banned from these restaurants. You see, Tumblr is full of feminists. And feminists hate my fucking guts. More than any other group, feminists despise me, okay? I don't know why. I'm not sexist. I believe in gender equality, but that doesn't seem to matter much to them because they have a script, and in their script, I'm the villain. So they believe all of these banned from stories to be true and authentic and real because they're so they have this conception of me as this loud, obnoxious douchebag. I wonder why! So anything that fits in with that narrative, they latch onto and just uncritically that must be true. And I don't want you guys to think this is just some isolated phenomenon where there's just a couple of people that think this way. These posts about how I have been banned from all of these restaurants have received tens of thousands of notes. And literally, I get in arguments with people on Tumblr and they bring it up. They're like, well, no one should take you seriously. You're the guy that got banned from all those restaurants. Well, first of all, even if I had been banned from all those restaurants, even if all those stories were true, that doesn't invalidate anything I've ever said. It's perfectly possible for someone to be an obnoxious douchebag that gets kicked out of every restaurant they go to and still make valid points in an argument. But that's a moot point because I've never fucking been banned from a restaurant. Look at these jiggly man titties. Look at them. Look at them jiggle. Do you think I got these by being banned from restaurants? Restaurants don't ban me. They see my fat ass coming, they roll out the red fucking carpet. But this just goes to show that the Tumblr community hates me so much that they will latch on to anything against me, no matter how ludicrous or unfounded. And that is kind of disturbing. So you know what I did? I went to Yahoo's corporate offices. Yes, I did. Because Yahoo owns Tumblr, see? And I went to the receptionist, I'm like, let me see the CEO. And she said, oh, I can't do that. And you know what I did? I fucking whipped out my big 20 fucking inch cock and slammed it onto her desk like a judge's gavel. And it registered 9.2 on the Richter scale and the receptionist burst into flames. And I took a big chunk of her ashes and I wiped it on my face like war paint. And I proceeded into the CEO's office. And he was having his afternoon scotch, and I grabbed the bottle off his desk and downed it in a single glug. And he's like, hey, you can't be in here. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm the Amazing Atheist. I can be anywhere I want. And then I fucking slapped him across his face so hard that his head spun off like a dreidel. And it spun so fast that it drilled into the ground and hit oil. And the whole room filled with a bubbling crude. Oil, that is, and I took a big Cuban cigar out of my pocket, took a single fucking drag, flicked it onto the oil, and the whole building burst into fucking flames. Giant explosion, Michael Bay fireball from hell. Do you believe that story, Tumblr? Oh, by the way, I'm Satan!